So I discovered this something so fun and so actually insightful and helpful, which is to use a chart to help me and others figure out how we are uniquely set up to make money. What is our business and what is our business model? And I never bothered with that in the past, but recently I have, and it's just I've been obsessed with it. I went recently on a live, friends live, and we there are people there. We were looking at their charts, talking about our own charts, and it's just fascinating and so rich, like the information that's available, the complexity, the nuance, which is the beauty. So the people will bring in their life stories, not life stories, but the stories with money and their current businesses or lack of, or all that stuff, right? And then we obviously are looking at a chart, and marrying the two just gives that nuanced, intricate, kind of like a blueprint of what their what their business model is. There is obviously in general there is a general money advice and business advice that's applicable to every chart. But then you drill a bit deeper and you look at the details and the under stuff, and and you come up with something far more specific to the individual. So if this sounds like interesting and fun for you too, and you're interested in finding that out about your own specifics when it comes to money making, the type of business and the business model, join me next Friday. I'll be hosting a live here on my channel, 27th of March, 3 p.m. UK time. Bring your charts; it's free of charge, and we'll dive in and discover all the goodies. And if for some reason you're not keen on lives, you can't make it or whatever, I will have a form in the description that will just to give me your details. So if I have time, if many people didn't come or whatever, and I have time, I will then look at those, and you can then watch it at another time. And for anyone who just doesn't like lives for whatever reason, and you wouldn't do even that with a form, then I just want to give you like a few pointers what to do for yourself, how to approach this, what to look for. So you want to start with your 8th house and your 2nd house, your sign and the planet in there, in both houses. If you have planets, you might not have planets, but you certainly will have 8th and 2nd house, and the sign that will be in certain signs, opposite signs, obviously. And so first spend some time there understanding those signs and those planets, for instance, if you have them. And in connection with money making, with values, like what is your value, what others see you as your value, what is your what is your relationship to money, what are your feelings about money. All of that will be in those 2 houses and the planets you might have there. And then look at the rulers of both. So in my case, I have Sagittarius 8th house and Gemini 2nd house. So I'm looking where my Jupiter is and where my Mercury is. I'm looking at what houses and signs they're in, and if they're in a particular relationship, conjunction, square, opposition, trine, sextile, any other aspect, right? And that is enough. That will give you a lot. I would also say add to kind of, so this would give you a sense of what your business is and what your money making model is. But what will give you a very important other information about you and money is your moon. Why? Because, and if you're into manifestation, particularly when it comes to money, manifesting money, you will have heard, I'm sure, and seen many videos and content out there, and I'm in agreement with, because I agree, which talks about how our nervous system is ultimately the one deciding and overriding all the other affirmations of what we are thinking. Even if we are changing our thinking on paper, if our body is still not happy and feeling safe and relaxed and trusting of the words that we are saying I want money, I need more money, I want money, I make money, I'm richer, all the kind of affirmation stuff. But if the body is not in agreement with that, then it will not work. It might work for a moment, and then it doesn't stay. There is no sustainability, consistency. So the real work is to figure out how to regulate your nervous system in relation to money, the idea of having money, the idea of having wealth, the idea of being successful, all the stuff that you associate with money, right? So your moon will tell you how you regulate, right? And without regulation, all the other work information you'll find out from the 8th to the 2nd, and then the rulers of the houses and all the relations between the planets, either both the rulers and the planets in the houses, should you have any, that would be kind of like wasted if you don't look at your moon. Because without that internal regulation, you need to marry the two. So even if the moon is nowhere to be found in any of the 8th or the 2nd, or with the rulers, it's like it has nothing to do with the rulers of your chart, of those two houses, sorry. Even then, like in any case, and if it does, even so, just look at moon separately as a way of understanding how you emotionally regulate. Okay, so I'll be taking you through your specifics if you join me in the live workshop next week, free of charge. Okay, thank you. See you. Bye.